while we're at it, since it seems to be the hot topic, I think the Steelers schedule should be the one we kick it off.
Pittsburgh. In the words of my southern ancestry, Pittsburgh. Let's do it.
Oh, it doesn't look good. You see that to start this season. We're looking at the 49ers.
Well, how come that don't look good? They're gonna
What do you
have
mean?
even
How come? That
what,
doesn't look
Jimmy
good.
Jimmy
You
G's
talking
not
about it?
down there no more. Jimmy G was the one getting them win. Don't forget. Like I said, I'm not sold on Purdy, and until I know if my boy Lance coming back all the way healthy, the 49ers will be a highly anticipated watch, but still a scratch. We're gonna have to see. I like the Steelers in this game. I actually do. They're
You
coming in with
actually
a
do?
guy. Yeah, they coming in with a guy who's guaranteed starter. There's none of this quarterback riffraff going on. All they got to do is gel and keep this thing going. They ended the season on a high note with the win. They're about to go ahead and get this ball rolling. And you've seen all the weapons. Dalton, pull up Dalton's comment again, if you
All
don't
right,
mind.
give me 1 second.
Pull,
One
pull,
second.
pull,
One
pull up Dalton's
second.
comment again. Because he's taking the words right out of my mouth. Like I said, and in the accumulation of talent that they got on the ball this year, because last year they didn't have nobody. They
Right.
made it. They obviously they made it to over 500 when everybody wrote them off except for me and the people who's actually in Pittsburgh and probably Dalton. And they did that
And,
with no. Go ahead.
and I'm supposed to believe this is the list in the AFC North that's supposed to have me talking about them.
Yeah, because what? Who else is in the North that's worth talking about? We
The
talking.
Bengals, the
Ha
Ravens,
ha.
maybe even the
Maybe
Browns.
maybe the Ravens. Out of everybody, the only team I'm worried about in the North besides this team winning it all is the Ravens. They're the only other team who can win the North. Like, what are we
Healthy
talking about?
TJ and Alex. Been working on Porty or Lance all day. Look,
Man,
there's a
TJ
strong
Watt
argument for
tribute.
that. Look, I'm a big TJ Watt fan, so
Man,
there
you
is
already
some
said,
truth
and
to that.
he be all over your boy Burrow,
Mm. So you're
all
gonna
over.
mark him? Are we marking him? Are you marking him down as a win
I'm
versus the
marking it
Niners?
down. You know
All right, I got
I
you.
am.
I
And I'm
got
not even
you, little.
Pittsburgh fan, but I'm in reality, baby. Pittsburgh over the Niners all day. Yes, sir.
All right, all right.
Yes, sir.
Let me see who's next on the list. We have the Browns going into week 2. How do you feel about the Browns?
Dub. What are we talking about? Pittsburgh starting 2-0. I'm still not.
Mm,
What? Please, Dub. And I don't
uh,
even need to get into the detail. You can
so,
tell me
so
why you think the Browns is going to win that game. I'll listen to that. But even I think you're trying to convince yourself with that. So you
yeah,
just tell me.
I am trying to convince myself that the Browns have a better overall team. It's questionable if we're going to
It's
call Watson a
questionable.
better quarterback.
Thank you.
I
And it's that fact alone that is in question that I know the Steelers are going to win this game because this ain't Deshaun of 5 years ago.
Browns at home too is what Dalton said. I believe that's what he said. Dalton, yeah, Browns at home too. Yeah, yeah,
Pittsburgh.
yeah, yeah. You know what? You know what?
Come on. Come
I'm joining.
on.
I'm gonna jump in.
Come
You're catching me
on.
early. Let's get it. We're 500 on my board to start this season. First 2 games. I can get with it. I'm fine with that.
All right.
Next on the list is the Steelers for week 3. Oh, the Steelers. What a garbage fire of a franchise. One of the reasons why we definitely didn't start with the West. Let
Well,
me see. TJ has 2 picks against old Burrow.
I know.
Oof.
We saw like I said, Dalton. If you ain't seen it, you can go back to the beginning of our timeline and watch the game where I called that the Steelers was going to beat the Bengals, and I even said them go as far as the Bengals was going to Bengal, and they went and got blown out. Like
Mm.
it's no mistake. Like I'm still
That's a,
not sold on the Bengals. I'm sold on Burrow. I'm not sold on the Bengals.
and
Joe Burrow's a stud.
we do need to get that T-shirt out because I am starting to see that that phrase fly around the internet, and it's starting to make me wonder who's all watching.
I told you that. I told Mister. I told you they watching us because we the only ones telling the truth.
Right.
Um, but
So we
no.
got the Raiders. Raiders week 3. I think we were both gonna go with a win here, right?
Right, of course. Jimmy G's not playing. That's the reason why I'm going with the win for the Steelers.
Just a quick reminder: you have the Steelers starting off
3
three
and
and
0, baby.
zero.
Yes,
So let's go
sir.
to week 4. Let's go to week 4 where we have the Texans versus the Steelers. Oh
And this
my
is
God!
and this is the first game that the Steelers will lose.
Really, the Texans.
CJ Stroud
Mm.
and the Texans are going to make a statement. It's going to be their first win of the season, which is going to give them enough credibility to move
Oh,
forward in the rest, especially in the AFC South. I
ah,
got the Texans winning this game.
the Texans. See, and that's where we kind of split here. And I want to be high on the Texans this year. I truly do. I think the Steelers win this game. I think it's going to come down to a coaching matchup. And if you're going to give me that question,
Hmm.
Tomlin versus the coach, it's going to usually be Tomlin, except for
That's true.
probably a handful of guys. See what we hear. The AFC North would be what the AFC West was, should have
Should
been
have been
last year.
last year.
That
I
is,
can agree with that almost
oh, don't
100%.
spin facts. Listen here, folks.
I
That is
swear, man.
that is so true. It
Dalton, did
is
my notes
not
leak
even
on
funny.
Twitter? Are you? How are you getting all my information, Dalton?
He
Goodness,
might follow us on
he
Twitter.
must be.
He is a big Steelers fan, so I'll give him that. He follows them pretty religiously, and anytime he can catch some Steelers news from us, I'm pretty sure he pays attention. So
But shout out to
he's
him. I'm with you
yeah.
on that one though. Uh, like I said, I'm just indifferent on this Texans game. I think, like I said, this is going to be a game, a statement win for them, a must win probably.
But what is really wild to me, and I would not have in my head before this show, I would not have predicted this. But here we are at week 4, and we actually both have them at 3-1. And
Hmm.
different routes to get there. And I think it really could be 2-2, depending on that Browns game. But we're looking at 3-1 right now, a consensus 3-1 through the first 4, which is really wild.
Hmm.
Week 5, we are looking at the Ravens. What are you
Now
doing versus the Ravens?
that's that's in Baltimore, isn't it?
I believe that
Is that
should
in
be
Baltimore?
in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, it is in Pittsburgh. I got the Steelers in this game there. Steelers at home.
Mm, mm.
They
I'm
bottle
going to give
they
them the
they bottle up that would be offensive attack that's coming if OBJ ain't hurt by then already. Um, yeah, I'm going with the Steelers in this game. 4-1, baby.
I'm a big fan of Lamar Jackson, so I'm going to stick to my bias and go with the Ravens on
Don't
that
don't
one.
say it like that, Mr. Casey. You know I'm the Lamar Jackson advocate. And most of this offseason,
Right.
I've beating down the doors for my boy Lamar,
Here we
but
go
just
to
not this game.
week 6. We're looking at the Rams at LA.
And I have another Steelers win on the board.
Another one on the board.
Yeah, the Rams are in shambles. They're done. It's time to retool that whole thing. And if you haven't watched How to Fix Your Team, we did a segment on the Rams about how to fix them, and it was almost unfixable. So
Yeah,
besides
and I'm
besides
gonna.
setting TNT off in the lobby, we don't know.
And in my head, I kind of wanted to go with the Rams, and then you referenced that video, and that's what locked in, switching it for me. Let's go with the Steelers over the Rams. Next, we have the Jags versus Steelers at Steelers.
And unfortunately,
Ooh,
this is the Steelers' second loss. They got to play the prince that was promised, the prince of the AFC. Uh, there's no doubt in my mind the Jaguars win this game on their way to winning the AFC South. Just another notch on the belt. This will move the Steelers, in my opinion. Where am I? They're 4-2 now. On
uh,
mine, on my
you're at
side,
5-2, and I'm
five and
at
two.
yeah, and I'm at 4-3 because I'm also giving the Jags a win here on this one. So we're both consensus. Next on the list is the Titans
Dub.
Man, is this kind of a cupcake
I'm
schedule
trying to
here?
tell you. I'm
What?
trying to tell you, bro. That's what I'm saying. They're going to
Ooh,
win the North, bro. I'm telling you, dub.
ooh, we might have to bet the over on the Steelers win total. We might have to look up what that is right now.
No, for real.
So I think we're both going to give them a win over the Titans,
Oh, for sure. They're
right?
watching the Titans. Who's the quarterback? The dude they finally drafted after a
I don't
while.
even,
They was
I don't even
waiting
think
on.
they've made that decision yet.
Yeah.
Next on the list, oh my God, I can't believe this, but we have the Packers.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one. Can we really?
Oh,
This is starting to get.
it's
I feel
starting to
like
get
this.
nasty. It's getting
There's
ugly.
no way. There's no way. Look, right now, you're really looking at a 7-2
7-2
Pittsburgh
Steeler
Steeler.
team.
The first 9 through you. I actually have them at 6-3, which is pretty close, but that is pretty nuts. That is crazy. Oh my
Oh
God.
man, no, for
Where are we
real,
at?
man.
Next game is the Browns again.
And another one.
You
Sweep of
giving
the
them another one?
Browns. Yeah,
This
the
is
Browns
in
are swept.
Cleveland.
I know where it's at.
Well,
Cleveland don't care it's in Cleveland.
I'm going Browns on this one. I'm going
I got the
Browns on this
Steelers at
one.
8-2, baby.
Right, and I have them at 5-4 at this point. Yeah, 5-4, and you are at 7-2.
7-2, yeah.
7-2. So week 10 is going to be versus the Bengals.
And this is
Ooh.
where the Pittsburgh Steelers will lose their third game. They will get caught by the Bengals coming off a high win streak. They're going to be too high, too amped, and the Bengals have a way to sneak in and ruin a streak. It's just something about them. They're streak busters. I'll give them that credit. They'll steal a win against the Steelers right here, moving them to 7-3.
Yeah, and actually, I have this. This is when they slide back to 500. Perfect spot for
Ooh,
Tomlin, right? At 5-5, because they're losing to the
ooh, you got them
Bengals.
on a nasty
But good
losing
news,
streak.
it
But
is
good news.
back to reality. But it
What-
gets better from here.
It does. It gets a little better. Only in
You
two
got the
spots I can
Cardinals
see.
next.
And
Cardinals
that'll be a
next.
dub for the Steelers. That'll move them on up to 8-3.
We've got them at 6-5 after the Cardinals game, and then we have the Patriots versus the Steelers.
And that's when they will lose their fourth game against Bill Belichick and the Mac Jones led Patriots, future champions of the AFC East.
I actually have them winning this game.
Okay.
The Steelers over the Patriots. So that's actually going to get them back to
Prime time?
7-5. 7-5 for me. So we're getting back into that direction.
Okay.
Oh, another interesting one. Late. Steelers versus Colts in Indy.
And I have the Steelers running away with that game.
I'm going to be a gambler here and take a roll on the dice with Anthony Richardson and go with the Colts. I think he's going to be a little bit phenomenal. That team has really been a quarterback away for a couple of years. So let's see what they can do with the young guy. I'm going to predict the Colts.
He's no
It's going to
KP.
bring them back to 7-6 for me.
Ooh, I don't even know where I'm at on the record now after this win. What is that? That'll be their
The
ninth
Bengals?
win of the season
Yeah.
after they beat the
Bengals?
Colts. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going Steelers against the Bengals in the rematch.
Steelers for over the Bengals in the rematch, huh?
Mm-hmm. Because like I said, I got the Bengals winning the first one. Steelers going to catch them on the second one.
It's going to bring them. I can't do it. I can't go Bengals there. I'm going Bengals. I'm going.
Oh, okay.
Let's go. And then to finish off this, or next is Seahawks versus Steelers in Seattle.
In Seattle. And I'm going to go with the Steelers again in this game. They're going to bench Geno Smith at the end of the year, moving into the new year. Seahawks will be out of playoff contention probably by then. We'll see. Well, we'll see how that division goes. We'll talk about it. But definitely going with the Seahawks losing this game to the Steelers.
Mm, I'm picking the Seahawks there. And then January 7th to end the season, we have the Steelers in Baltimore play the Ravens.
Hmm
What you what you looking like there?
Oh, we know the Steelers win this game. No, they lose this game, honestly. Lamar Jackson, they're going to need this win just so they can get into the playoffs because the Steelers have already won the North. So they probably won't even play Kenny Pickett or some other guys. The Ravens will win this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And that's gonna finish the season for me right at 7-10. And will be the first losing season for Tomlin, according to me. And I think I think you actually, wildly enough, have them looking at like 11-6 this
11
season,
and 6. Yes, sir.
which is a bold prediction. We'll call it that. I could call it a lot of things in life. That's a bold prediction.
Hey, man, I'm just looking at the schedule, man. They got so many stretches in there of easy football. If they just stay
Right.
on the ball, we're looking at the Kings of the North.